neck protector. Better warn him, kid, Mr. Metza. Want him pop, about to blow his lid from the pressure. Too hot for TV, for cheesy. Too many wanna be hard, be easy. It's all in together, going on like together. It don't take much to please me. Still, Holmes, I'm never satisfied like the Stones. Boom! Hello, America. Hello, world. Hello, you. It is your new best friend, Cashmere, California, and this is the Pod is Good podcast, aka the Notorious PIG. This is episode 33. Pod is good. And all the time, if you know, you know. If you don't, keep listening. You will learn. Today, I have the most important guest that I've had on the show thus far. This is by means no disrespect to any of my other guests, but all of my guests would concur with this sentiment. The most valuable person, the most special guest that I've had here on the show, ladies and gentlemen, episode 33, you get to meet Mama California. Let's go. Hi, Mom.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Pod is Good community. This is Miss Jettie Taylor, aka Mama California. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. I got my mama on the show, y'all. I got my mama on the show. We done made it. It's official now. We have made it. I got my mama here. Things couldn't be better. I'm so happy to see you. You look amazing.
Thank you.
What does that say? What's your shirt say? Wake, pray,
And slay.
wake, pray, slay. That's my
Yes.
mama, y'all. That's my mama. All right, so this is gonna be fun because I get to ask you some things that maybe I never knew. Maybe I get to dig in a little bit and get to know some stuff about my mom that I just never knew. Right.
Okay.
So we're gonna start long, long before I was even thought of. Like they used to say, before you was even a twinkle in your daddy eye.
Yes.
I want to know some of your favorite hobbies as a kid.
As a kid, I really didn't have a lot of hobbies because we just went outside and played, and climbed trees and swung on tire ropes. And I used to love to crochet when I was little, so I would make purses and hats and stuff
Hmm.
like that. Um, Yeah, that's pretty much well. Hopscotch, just the outside, running and running. I used to love to run, so racing people or
Yeah.
yeah, stuff
And
like
were you like the play by yourself or play with like a large group type of person? Like a lot of people out and you overdoing your own thing, or were you with the crowd?
no, I was with the crowd because from Hayti High, there's everybody knew everybody, so
Right.
I was with Miss Dester Johnson, like her girls, Rita, Frida, Sandra.
Yeah.
And so that was my at home crew. And then, of course, when I was at school, I had, a different crew. But yeah, no, I wasn't a loner.
Shout out to everybody from Hayti, Missouri.
Yeah.
If y'all don't know, Hayti is it's in the boot of Missouri. If you go look at how it's shaped at the bottom, it's like this little bitty boot. That's where all our people from, right there. I mean,
Yeah.
not all, but that's what we. I guess I can't even say started. You, as you know, you the pioneer. You are our ancestry.com liaison. So I gotta watch what I say, but that is where this union was formed in that area.
Right. Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. And so, um, talent shows. Like, did you used to sing, dance? Did you rap? Please tell me you rap. That'd be so fun.
No, I didn't rap. I didn't rap. I did one talent show, I think, with your dad when we were I think we were in high school and we had a little band. We did a little thing for a talent contest. So,
Oh, please, you got to take me there. You got to take me there. Okay. So you, dad, have a band. What are you playing or singing? What is he doing?
I don't remember. I was
Oh,
singing,
come
and
on.
I can't even remember the song. It was by this guy. I think his last name was Brown, and so
Hmm.
we named the band something Brown and Company or something. So yeah, I
Oh,
don't know. Knowing your dad, he probably danced. I don't know, but I think he played instruments too. But I don't even remember who else was in the band. I just remember being on that talent show that time.
did you guys win?
No, I think I don't know. We may have came in second or third or something like that, maybe.
Oh, Steve Jobs, why hadn't you created this yet? I need to see the footage.
Yeah, Haytime High School.
So one talent show. So is there a reason there was only one? Like, did you just not like it, or did you guys only have one that ever happened at the school?
I don't even remember like how that even came about.
Hmm.
So as I recall, maybe it was just the one time we thought we were ready,
Yeah.
or that we just thought of something. Oh, let's do this talent show. But
Gotcha.
I don't remember if it was just a one-time thing or
Yeah.
what it
And
was.
do you remember if this is like high school?
Yeah, I think it was high school.
Okay.
Yeah, it was high
Okay.
school.
And so I know you just said you like to run. So I know you ran track.
Yes.
Okay. What other sports?
Um, Not really. I think track was the only sport. I mean, we had PE back then, so
Yeah.
we played volleyball, which I really didn't care for. Basketball was just starting up for girls, so it wasn't too many
Hmm.
girls that did that. So I was a sprinter. I did hurdles. I did relays. So I was a runner.
Yeah.
I wanted to play flag football, but they rehearsed on Sundays. And so, being a PK, mom and dad wasn't having me going nowhere practicing on a Sunday.
Can't do that.
so,
Not the preacher's kid.
I never got a chance to do that. But in track, I mean, we went all the way to state in track.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. That's really good. What was
yeah.
your favorite what was your favorite thing to do in track?
I think that I did the. I don't even know. They've recalibrated. I think like
Hmm.
what the things now, but mine was like the. I did the 220, which
Okay.
was like halfway around. I won first in district with that, and then that took us to state. And then we had like a 880 medley relay and a 440, and I think I ran both of those.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know you went to state. That's like pretty awesome.
yeah.
That's pretty awesome. So during that time, did you have like sports dreams, like Olympic dreams, or was it just kind of something that you enjoyed doing? And so you,
No, it was just something in high school that we
yeah.
did. So a bunch of my friends, we were, a lot of the cheerleaders ran track too. So it was just, either cheering or running. So
Now there's a thing that you used to. I can't remember if you used to like it or you just told me about it, but like putting peppermints in like a dill pickle. That was you, right?
yeah.
Okay. What other like little quirky guilty pleasures like that do you remember that you used to like as a kid? Do you remember any?
I've always been a mixer. And so my earliest remembrance is I don't know, I must have been maybe 5, 6, and I had ice cream. And then the ice cream I had a whole bunch of junk in it. I can't even remember what it was. And my mom made me throw it away. She was like, "You're gonna make yourself sick." She was like, "Throw it away."
You know why that's so crazy to me is that um my cousin Ricky, your nephew,
Yeah.
that was my first business. I never made it a business, but my first business idea, I'll never forget it. Me and Ricky in Missouri, and I had a cup with vanilla ice cream and crunched up Captain Crunch in it. And I was like, I'm gonna sell this. This is gonna be like a new flavor ice cream. The ironic part is that me and Erica, when we go get frozen yogurt, one of our favorite toppings to put on it is Captain Crunch. Crazy.
Yeah.
And that was around, those early, 7, 8 year old, thoughts that you just somehow think you just come up with an idea and then boom, it
Right.
makes money.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I used to eat onions too.
Like fresh onion?
Yeah,
Like an apple?
yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I was just that kid. I don't know. Just try it, and it was just like, okay, it was good.
Wow. Did you did it make you cry? You just fought
No,
through it.
no,
Like
no, I don't know. It was a different kind of onion. I don't know. I put salt on it and just ate it.
wow. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, right here first. You don't know anybody that eats salted onions like an apple.
Yeah. It
That's an
was probably
interesting one.
just one time because mom probably caught me and was like, no, you're
Yeah,
not doing
yeah,
that.
yeah. Grandma wasn't having that. She was like, "No, if I ain't let you eat that ice cream mix up
Yeah,
you
because it
made,
was
you."
like ice cream and pickles and it was something weird. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool though. That's cool. Do you ever have times that because when you get older and we're more mature and like now what goes with what and what's healthy and what's not. Do you ever miss that little youthful part of you that just threw whatever together and didn't care if it was healthy, not supposed to go together, sweet, sour, crunchy, it don't matter.
No, because actually I do that with just the foods that I eat that I know that are healthy for me. Like just this morning, I had like a cup of tea, and I mix my teas too. So I had like, I think it was green tea and maybe oolong tea, and then I put some manuka honey in there, and then I threw a handful of blueberries in there with it. So,
You
or
still at it?
I'll scramble eggs and throw blueberries in there along with my spinach and arugula. So yeah, I'm still a mixer.
Yeah, yeah, you still at it. You still living it out.
Yeah.
So that little girl's tendencies has now developed into being tendencies for you, even as like a health coach.
Oh yeah. I mean, even before I was a health coach, I would do the unhealthy. I'd mix stuff up in a minute.
Yeah.
Drinks or things to eat, or we would have when I was little, we would have like mashed potatoes and green beans
Hmm.
and cornbread, and I would just crumble them all up together, stir it up, and yeah.
Well, now I know where I get it from because I pretty much never buy a juice that's just one flavor. It usually has to be a mixture of a few different flavors. If I go get ice cream, some people are like 2 scoops of vanilla. I'm never getting the same 2 scoops. It has to
Yeah.
be two different flavors. Like, well, what's the point?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
I see where I get that now. I see where I get that. All right. So then we leave, high school, and then you go off to college, right?
Yes.
For a
Mhm.
certain amount of time. How was college for you? Like looking back on it, I don't know. During that time, did you feel like you had to go? Were you forced to go? Were you excited to go? What was like that first leaving the house to go to college? And where'd you go?
It was like just the next step. It wasn't. It was like all the seniors was talking about where you're gonna go, where you're gonna go, and the first place I went actually was a business college in Memphis, Tennessee.
Mm,
And I went there with one of my classmates, and we ended up in a really bad neighborhood. We didn't know it was bad, and
oh no.
they were telling us, well, be careful of the color of your light bulb and
On the
crazy stuff
car?
like that. Yeah, because certain colors meant you're in business. So, um,
Wow.
so our moms quickly snatched us out of there, and we went back to Hayti, and then I eventually went to Florissant Valley Community College in St. Louis.
When you said a mom snatched us out, for some reason I just got this image, just like animated show that grandmother just keeps coming up and popping in the scene and going, nope. And like you over there eating ice cream, nope. And then you on the wrong street, nope. And she just keeps popping up in your life, nope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so you go to college. What'd you go to college for again? I'm sorry if you said
Computer programming.
computer programming. And that was kind of like the booming industry at the time.
It was previously, like when I was in the eighth grade, I wanted to be an airline stewardess because I
Hmm.
thought I wanted to travel. It'd be fun to be in an airplane. I'd never been in an airplane, and then we had a field trip to the bank, and the bank had this massive computer, and I'm thinking,
Hmm.
wow. So that kind of switched my mind toward, computer programming. But then it was like when I got to college, it was like the old thing where you had to fill out these cards and put them in
Mm,
sequences. It was way back then.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah,
right.
that didn't
And
work out.
right. And it's probably only a fraction as powerful as the device you're on right now.
Oh yeah. Oh
That's,
yeah.
that's way smaller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's that's interesting how things always go smaller with technology. You know,
Right.
like computers started out big and then they got little, and gaming systems started big and then they got handheld, and phones started out big and then they got smaller. It's like
Yeah.
we have like this desire to shrink things down into a more portable, even vehicles. I mean, you look at old school Cadillacs and
Yeah.
then look at little uh Teslas, or some of these little small, like the Chevy Bolt nowadays is like tiny car compared to the Cutlass Supremes.
It's all about convenience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
As far
And
as
that
like
was
electronics, because I remember thinking when they were talking about how we were going to have phones in the car, and I'm
mm,
like, back then it was a cord, so I'm like,
right,
I couldn't comprehend how you were going to put a phone in a car.
right. That makes sense.
Mm-mm.
Doesn't make sense. Yeah, yeah. All right, so you're in St. Louis.
Mhm.
You're on the wrong street. But how else is the time
No,
in?
no, no. In Memphis, I was on the wrong
Oh,
street. Then I
Memphis on
went
the
back
wrong
to
street.
Hayti, and now I am in St. Louis. And I'm bouncing between your Aunt Phyllis's house and your Aunt Iva's house because your cousins, Shay and Dwight and Dwayne, they would always fight to where I was going to stay. So I had to work it out to where I would stay with one for so long, and then I would go over and stay with the other one for so long. So try to
Yeah,
balance things out.
that's family. But that
Yeah.
had to be nice though, going from home to then when you go off to college, you're with family, or did you want an escape from family during that time?
No, it was a nice thing because my sisters, as you know, are older than me, and
Yeah.
so and then I am 10 years I think older. Well, I know I'm 10 years older than the twins, and not too much. I don't know. I can't remember how old Shay is, but Shay and Ricky. But I was closer to their age because here I am. I'm like 17. I graduated when I was 17.
Right.
So here I am, a 17-year-old, and so I'm fun, I'm playful, I'm this, I'm that.
Yeah.
And so it was. I get to spend more time with them. So it wasn't. I wasn't trying to escape anything. It was.
Yeah.
I had a great life in Haiti, and so I love family. My mom's from a big family. I'm used to being around a lot of family all the time, so it was good.
Okay, but you just said I'm fun, I'm playful. I want to tap into that. So now you in St. Louis and you fun and you playful. What you doing? Where you
No, no,
going?
no, I mean as far as like just being with kids. You know how I am with your
Uh,
kids.
got you. Got you. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. All right, because they're still young. I see what you're
Right.
saying. I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. Just
Yeah.
as, yeah, okay, okay. I got it now. I got it now. I got it. All right. And so the transition from computers, well, from airline stewardess
Mhm.
to computers
Mhm.
in banking, and then you see this massive computer and all the programming and the charts and everything that you got to do to keep it going, and then you're like, okay, not that. What was next? What jumped
Well,
out
no,
next?
it was just interrupted because I went away to college, and after a while, you came along, and so I went from college back to Hayti, got married, settled in with your dad, and then life began back in Hayti and Crothersville until we moved to Cali.
Wow. Wah, 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 wah. So there was what, so how'd you feel? I mean, to be honest, I know, most you probably weren't planning that during that time. And so, your life, you're trying to go in one direction. Obviously, you love your child, your baby, all those good things. But like, is there a tug? Is there tension inside where it's like, man, but I really was excited about where I was going?
No, I mean I'm pretty much where I just take life as it comes.
Hmm.
Um, you
Even
know,
as a 17-year-old.
Yeah, God gives life, and so He gave me a life, and I just figured, okay, this is the direction that I'm gonna go. A lot of times, God places things in your life to change your directory, you
Hmm.
know. So it's like maybe I was going for that thing, but then He had you in mind. So it's like, no, you can't get him over here, so you need to come back here. So it's just, it
Yeah.
was no regrets or anything like that. It was just, life as it was.
And how did the family feel? Because I know grandma was like, nope. So did she go, nope. Was she a little like, Jettie May, you're supposed to be going to college getting your degree.
No, no, she was, of course, disappointed that, it had stopped or redirected.
Yeah.
And dad was, he was always the quiet type. He just, did a little family conference thing, and he looked at your dad and says, so what y'all gonna do?
That's it right there. So what you gonna do? I know what you did. Now what you gonna do?
Right. And your dad said quickly, we're gonna get married.
He had the right answer. He had the right answer.
Yeah.
Wow. That has to be I mean, you sound like you took it very much in stride. You know what I mean? Even as a 17-year-old, it seems like you were very like in tune with the flow of life. But it sounds like it could have been a big shock. You know what I mean? To someone to go from kind of their life building in a certain way and it's going, and then there's a change. You know what I mean? And it's just interesting that I don't know if it's just the calm that you have looking back over it today, or if this is exactly how you felt then, but just that understanding. It shows a certain level of wisdom at a very young age for you.
Yeah, it was just like about the time you came along, I was actually 18. So I graduated when I was 17, and then um, you came along when I was 18. But I don't know. I grew up around family, and that's just. I think I just took it. It was a little. I was a little nervous. I was, shocked, surprised, but shouldn't have been surprised. So, so I just
Yeah.
took it inside. It was like it is what it is. Let's settle in. Let's ride it out.
All right. All right. So you brought up, family. You've always been around family. Do we have a crazy uncle? Because they say every family got that crazy uncle. Do we got a crazy uncle? If you don't want to say their
Not that I
name.
was. No, 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 not that. No, I had to because my mom had six brothers, so that's why I had to like kind of like think about go down the line. But no, because the Betts men were like even keel.
Hmm.
They were quiet or whatever. Don't cross them. But other than that, they were really, just kind of calm men. So
Yeah.
at least not around us. I never
Right. Right. Right.
experienced anything. Yeah.
Right.
I had well on my dad's side, I had we had a cousin, my dad's first cousin that was he was a veteran, and so I think something happened to him in the war. So he was a drinker, and he would
Hmm.
get kind of out of hand after a while. So he would probably be the crazy relative.
Gotcha. Here's your nephew Daryl said, "Love you both. Love you too, Cuzzo."
Love you, Daryl. Your grandma Steen's texting me, says, "Are y'all on?" So text her back and say, "Yeah."
All right, so this is good. I'm trying to get kind of like into the inner workings. I want to get into the mind of the young Jettie Taylor that's like starting life and things are blossoming and growing. Did you ever in any of this time when you said let's settle in and ride this thing out, picture yourself in California? Or did you always picture yourself being like a country girl?
I was thinking about that the other day, and I never really thought like beyond where I was.
Mm.
And so when your dad joined the Air Force, it was kind of like, they had the dream sheet of where you wanted to go or whatever. And um, I think he said California was maybe number 4 or 3 or 4 or whatever. And I don't know, can't remember the other places he picked, but when he said it, I was just like, okay, let's go. First time on a plane, getting here, and you were like, what, 3? So,
Mm.
um, yeah, you were 3 going on 4. So,
Wow. Yeah, I'm blown away. I'm a little blown away right now because I don't know why I expected so much. I don't know, not tension, but just kind of which way to go. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Maybe I'm
no,
overthinking it.
it was, well, because growing up in Hayti and going to be in Hayti and Cartersville, there was really like, it was exciting to like, wow, California. I never even fathomed that I would be, even visiting California. Never even, California wasn't even like on my mind, period. And so to have the opportunity to just leave the area and experience something new, it was like, okay, let's go.
I think that's what it is. Also, is that um, you're cut from a different cloth than I think a lot of people might be used to nowadays in meeting people, and so it's like um, I don't think many people are just kind of like, okay, well, wherever you say, you can check all the cities, and it's like, oh, which one? Okay, we're going there. Great. Okay, fine. It's like you don't really get that kind of go along with the flowness, or you know. I don't know. You don't get that harmonious energy all the time because nowadays everybody has. But I want to do this. But I want to go there. But I don't want to do that. I don't like that. I don't want to be there. It seems like there's maybe more friction. So maybe I'm just so used to the current landscape of kind of how people come together that it's warming and soothing to hear that it was so like.
Well, when you have like no choices and you have one choice, then you take the one choice.
Understood. All right, so
I mean,
we
he was
moved.
military, so I couldn't like,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was a done deal.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so then we moved to California. So we moved. I said it in the song. Then we moved to the Bay. That's E Feezy. Then I moved to LA. That's Snoop Deezy. All right, so we moved to the Bay Area. We're at Travis Air Force Base, and now what? Now your husband is off. He's in another country, right? That was before. He went and then came back, and then we went to California.
But he
That's what
went
he.
to basics. He went to basic training, and then he went to whatever they do after basic training, the schooling
Yeah,
or whatever. Then he came back, and then we came to California.
got it.
He didn't leave the. He only left the country once, and he went on temporary duty. I think it was to Korea,
Gotcha.
but he
Okay,
was just there for, I don't know, 3 months. I can't remember how long it was, but
got it. And
yeah.
so I'm trying to make a connection with where I know you to be now, and like this focus of health and wellness and all the things that are gut health related and eating the right fruits and vegetables, and this whole person that you are right now, the person that I knew growing up who was like the bookkeeper. I always knew my mom was like working with the money. She was doing the numbers. She was fixing the books, right? Not fixing the books, but taking care of the books. And then all the way back to kind of like the beginning of she's open to which direction. So I'm kind of trying to figure out how did we get this trajectory towards where you are now.
Good question. I don't know. I've always been health conscious. Like when I was carrying you, I knew that I needed to eat right. So fruits and vegetables, and cut out this and cut out that. I've always been a big eater. I ate uh, more than my brother-in-law sometimes. They were like whisper, and this is when I was like, 17, 16. And they would whisper, like when we have Thanksgiving dinner or whatever, is she going to eat all that? I was like, yeah, she will be back for more. And then I remember them always telling me, okay, you're 18 now, but just wait till you get a little older. That stuff gonna start sticking.
Mm.
And but when we came here, I just got into like the gym. I would just love to just work out all the time, and that was like, I'm not a party person or anything like that, so um, I just started going to the gym and going to classes and stuff like that. Um, and with the health coaching thing, I just think the older I got, the more health conscious I got, and after I went back to college and got a bachelor's degree, and then I was like, okay, what now? It was in business,
Mm.
and but just from doing the things that I was doing, like with being in church and the choir and the dancing and stuff, it just seems like you know I don't know how it happened. It just I could just say it's God, because
Yeah, I can see
this
it.
is, this is direction that He took me. It's just like, okay, here. And because I was thinking, what can I do? And then you know how you always get the spam and the junk mail and the promotions and stuff. And
Yeah.
so there was this email I got, and it was, I think this was the way it went, and it was talking about being a health coach, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that sounds like something that I would like to do. Because before, like I was a massage therapist, I went to school to be a massage therapist, and I was had this business idea that I was going to do,
Yeah.
and so I was always thinking about health. And so after I graduated from the health coaching class, I was like, okay, but it's just our bodies are so like magnificent, like where do you start, because there's so many areas. And that's one
Yeah.
thing they were telling us, like you need to pick your focal point. What are you going to, even your audience, who are
Yeah.
you going to teach to, who are you want to focus on. And so my focus has always been my faith-based community, so that was, I knew I was going to do that. So then I started doing like little sessions with people at the church, to where I'd ask, they fill out a form and all this stuff. And I was just like, okay, I really like, it really wasn't hitting. And but I would still like listen to YouTube when I was at work about things about health and wellness. And this guy, these two guys, it was a naturopathic doctor, Dr. Um, I can't remember his name now. And then he had his sidekick Ruben, and they were talking about um, how disease begins in the gut. And I'm
Mm.
like, that's interesting. So I kept listening. And then one day I got an email from my alma mater, who I got the health coaching certificate from. And they were like, oh, we're offering a gut health course. And I'm like,
Ah.
God, here we go. And so ever since then, I just know it's from God, because I can listen to stuff and I'm just eating it up, and I'm trying to, it's a daily thing where you're learning, because the body is such a miracle in itself,
Yeah.
on how it operates and works. And so it's just fascinating to me. And I look around and so many people are sick, with all of these different illnesses, or they're limping around, or they're overweight, or they're, all of these issues. And if you really think about it, it's like, okay, it's what we're eating, because that's the one thing we all have in common.
Yeah.
It's food.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's powerful. That's very powerful. So if you had to explain uh, your elevator speech for gut health, someone that just now hears this, doesn't really understand the term, if you just had to blurt it out as quickly as possible to get them interested, maybe they want to, possibly buy a book to learn a little more. How
I
would you
know.
explain
I
gut
was, I was, when I was in school, I was always bad about elevator speeches. Like, but the thing about it is, it's like, I guess maybe I would start out with a healthier gut is a healthier you. If you really think about it, everything that we intake these days, not all of it is good for us. So you really want to focus on your gut to affect your other organs, to affect your life. And so that was like my really the thing that drives me. Is like, people know a lot. We're in information age. So it's like there's no lack of information.
Right.
And I think I allude to this in the book to where they say, knowledge is power. And I say, if you use it, if you make it
Mhm.
work for you, but if you just know a lot of stuff, that's not, that's not
That's not
powerful.
power.
It's not powerful if you're not using it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Because I mean, knowledge is basically like a weapon. And so you can have a closet full of weapons, but if you don't open the closet,
yeah.
they're not really going to help you.
It's not. And so another, like with forming Taylor's Holistic Approach Ministries, that's I'm focusing on like trying to get people in small groups, because that's one thing. People know what to do, but they need support, they need accountability, they need encouragement.
Yeah.
And so I think it's like they have this little phrase somebody made up, better together, but it's so true, because you have somebody that's going to say, oh no, we're not going to do that, or come on, let's go walk, or come on,
Yeah.
I made this new recipe. You have to have like this group thing going on, even if it's just your family, to
Yeah.
support you. And it's like, okay, I want to be better, so let's do this together.
Yeah. Support systems are very underrated by a lot of people. They don't realize that. I mean, and that's for anybody out there, no matter what you're doing. Even if you're trying to just like go to your local gym more, or go on a walk more often around your building, or whatever the case is, if you just find even one other person
Yeah.
that shares that idea that you see out walking too, or you see at the gym struggling too, like just make that one buddy. You could change your output tenfold just by having one partner that's on the same page as you are.
Right.
Yeah, so I like that. So you're going to start developing like these small groups, and the groups are designed to basically help each other, to galvanize and help each other do better and be accountability partners and all of that.
Right. Because, you talk to the common person and you start talking about, what to do and what not to do. They know.
Right.
So it's no lack of information. They know, that I should be eating this, and this. And a
Right.
lot of times I get the question, well, what can I eat for this? No, think about your whole body, because we've been so conditioned to think about one part of our body, but one part affects the other. So it's like, what can I do for a headache? Well, you can't, what else is hurting, because that's affecting your demeanor. Your head is hurting, but you can't get up and move around. You don't want to be bothered. It affects your mood,
Yeah.
and so it's like, what can I do to do this? And what can just get your whole body healthy.
Yeah.
And people are talking about weight loss. I was like, just get healthy. Then you'll settle into the weight that you're supposed to be for your
Right.
body frame or your body type or whatever. Just
Yeah.
focus on your gut and getting healthy.
Yeah, you're right. Everybody knows McDonald's bad, broccoli good, but the McDonald's the McDonald's drive-through line is way longer
Right.
than the line to get the produce bag at the grocery store.
Right, right, right. Yeah. It's quick, you don't have to cook. It's easy, just dish it out, it's
Yeah,
convenient, it's
yeah.
cheap. They make fast foods. Well, now, they're trying to get more expensive, because I know I went to
Yes,
one
that's
place,
true.
and it's like, for even, on a day that I'm out, I'll get, try to get like a burger and some fries, and that's like $10. It was like a burger alone is $10.
And that's
So
just if it's like a regular burger, like
yeah, because I got a
nothing
burger with no
special.
cheese, and just a basic, just the sauce that they put on or whatever, and it was like $10,
Yeah, yeah.
and
And
it's not
so,
good for me. So I'd rather go to the grocery store and spend $10 on a couple of things that's good for me and be okay, and it's gonna last me beyond the 10-15 minutes I take to eat the burger and stuff. So
right. And so, what is your suggestion for people that do have those kind of busy lives, and they're just constantly on the move, and they, like you said, they know, I shouldn't be eating this. However, I got to get to this meeting, and oh, I got to go pick up the kids. I was just supposed to get back and pick up the dry cleaning, whatever it is, and it's like they realize I haven't eaten in 6 hours. I'm starving now. Like, what would you say to kind of help that person start to build a better um, behavior around their purchases?
it's all about planning.
Mm.
They say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, or something like that.
Yeah,
So So it's all about what's important to you. We go through life and it's just, we think that our body's, just on autopilot and it doesn't need anything until it crashes. And then we're thinking, okay, what can I do? What can I do? But it's all about knowing your lifestyle and then just doing, a lot of people now are getting into meal preps.
Mm.
And so just prepping for the week, prepping for the snacks, prepping for being on the go. I had a friend who was just, here. So I sent them like a electric like lunchbox, and then a cooler. So there's things you can do,
Yeah.
in order to preserve stuff. If you don't have a refrigerator, or if you don't have place to, time to heat things up or whatever, there's always things you can do. You just have to be more creative and really plan it out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Is that something that your small groups are going to work on? Is meal prep or planning ideas or things of that nature?
Yeah, good health is, it affects the totality of your body. So it's going to affect your mind, your physical, your mental, your emotional, and everything like that. So that's, because our hormones, we have a lot of them, and most of them are in the gut. So it's just like, um, you just have to. I forgot the question I was going around. I do that sometimes.
It happens. I do the same thing. I was saying, are your small groups, are they going to deal
Oh,
with?
the small groups. So the small groups is like the support group. And so, you might have someone. I did this back at Mount Calvary. I addressed early on in my entrepreneurship and trying to present things to the faith based community. I did a thing with the children. And then I did things with the men's ministry where I told them, get into small groups, get somebody who knows how to, cook, or somebody who's going to look for recipes, somebody who's going to pray, because a lot of times we depend on willpower instead of God power. So,
Mm,
somebody who is going to pray for your group, somebody who's is into, thinking of things, activities and stuff to do. So like each person will have something to do. And so it's just like, oh, I found a new recipe. Come on over, invite families over, make it a family thing to where, you're introducing a new healthy dish or whatever. And just, just build your small community to build yourself up into good health.
yeah. Yeah. So now, does gut health affect all ages the same? Sometimes there's things that you feel like, well, when you're young, you don't have to worry about these things yet. And then when you're older, well, these things might be so far gone. If you got bad eyesight, you're just gonna probably have bad eyesight. Is gut health one of those things that kind of covers everybody, or is there a certain age group that should focus on it more than others?
No, it affects everyone. Even I was listening to something the other day. It's like even before a baby is conceived, the father's health can affect the baby's brain health. So it's from cradle to grave. It's like, yeah,
Wow. Before the baby's even conceived.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
That's huge.
yeah,
I don't think a lot of fathers recognize that their health affects the baby like that. A lot of fathers look at it like the woman's health. Whatever the woman's
right,
doing, what she's around, now if the dad is around her smoking,
right.
now that's a problem, but not something that he did himself long before the baby was conceived. That's interesting.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I have in the future, I'm planning to write a baby book. It's like, I can't remember, it's Mom, Dad, and Me or something like that.
Hmm.
And just so for, expecting mothers, or somebody who is planning on having a family so that they will know, like from the very
Mm.
beginning, how to plan and to, to bring healthy babies into the world.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I just had a question, see, and I lost it. Um, um, oh, yeah, I forgot. I lost it. Okay, so you said you're going to write a baby book, but you
Mhm.
already have a book now.
I do.
And what is the name of your book now?
It just makes gut sense, understanding God's handiwork.
It just makes gut sense. and I'm pretty sure we can all understand that the overarching idea of the book is gut health. What
Right.
kind of things are we taught through the book? What I guess what information do you go deeper into in the
Okay,
book?
so it's all about um, a lot of times we're operating machinery without reading directions, instructions. And so, you know how, you might get um, something and you go, oh, I know how to put this together. And then once you get it all together, like, okay, where does this piece go? So the book is all about what exactly is the gut. Because previously, you think about the gut, it's just like your stomach. That's the thing you think about. It's like, oh, my gut, it's your stomach. But actually, like your gut is all of these other organs together from your mouth all the way to the rooted to the tutor. And so, so it's just explaining exactly what organs are connected or included in as a part of the gut. And then also explaining, and it goes into like different things about how things are organic, and where to go to find a list of things. They have like the dirty dozen and the clean 15. And so there's this organization where they tell you the fruits and the vegetables that was least affected by pesticides and stuff like that. So it's
Hmm.
like the clean 15, you can buy it either commercial or organic, and then the dirty dozen is best to buy them organically. So stuff like that, giving tips out. And just trying to make people aware of the whole ministry is all about making people aware of how valuable you are,
Hmm.
how we were made in the image of God. And so, and Jesus died on the cross for our sins, and stuff like that. It's like, okay, you must be pretty important if
Yeah.
God was willing to do that. you
Yeah.
know he knew he was going to be spit on and beat and talked about and you lied on and all that stuff, but he went through it because he saw the value in you. And a lot of times we don't think about, we are vessels, of God, and we have the Holy Spirit residing in us because we're feeding it junk physically, emotionally, mentally. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in the inside. And
Yeah.
so, it just, it just raises, it's to encourage people to really take a look from the outside. Just, take a look, step back and say, you really think about your temple in a different way and how you're going to take care of it. Because one of the things I say is like when I get something from someone, if like I borrow something from somebody, I'm really careful with it. I don't want anybody to, I don't want it broken. I don't want it scratched. I don't want anything, because I wanted to give it back to you the way that I received it.
I see where you're going. Yeah.
And so it's like, God gave us this body to
Yeah.
take care of it because he houses it in the Holy Spirit and he lives within us. And so what are we doing to take care of that temple in order to be a light for others?
That's good. That's really good. I don't know if all that's in the book. I don't know if I remember that in the book because I obviously read it already. I don't know if I remember that, but that should be in the next one. Maybe that's a good. That was a
Well,
good one.
yeah, but the plans was to have four more books: one for spiritual health, one for mental, emotional health, physical health. But I don't know whether I'm going to put that all in one book or, make two more books out of it. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like two more books just because it's probably a lot to digest.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy. And I remember when you first told me about this that they have a dirty dozen. It feels odd for them to be able to identify the stuff that's really, really bad for you because it's affected by pesticides, but it's still on the market.
Yeah.
It's not like, yeah, these are dirty. We're not gonna sell those to you. We're gonna sell you the clean 15. Like, no, we'll sell you both.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just because they're commercially grown, so
Right.
they use some type of pesticides with organic and commercial, but the organic ones are supposed to be not as strong as the other ones, and
Hmm.
so So yeah, but it's good that it's, that it's out there, it's available. A lot of people don't know,
Yeah.
or how to tell like an organic if there's not a sign, how to tell an organic from a non-organic if you're looking at like an apple, like they have the codes on them. So it's like a regular commercial apple would be like, I don't know the number, but 4022. But if it
Mhm.
was an organic, it would be 94022 because the organic,
Ah,
and then if it has an 8 in front of the 4022, then it's like maybe genetically engineered or something like that. So there's like little codes and stuff. And so that is in the book. I give you
nice.
a picture to tell you, what the organic seal looks like. And because through, research and studying and reading, it's like there is no limitations on what you can use to describe your product. So you can say it's organic, but that doesn't mean it's organic unless it's gone through the process and it has a government seal to prove that yes, it's organic. Because they use things like, this is in the book too, like you said you like the story I said about the simply lemonade. It's just like, oh,
Mhm.
that's a buzzword. Simply is a buzzword.
Yeah. Yeah.
Natural, all natural is a buzzword. So
Yeah.
they know how to do these names, and they know how to do colors to invite people in because they know that that entices people to, oh, let me try that.
Yeah, yeah. They definitely use the greens and yellows and oranges very right. So you look at it like, oh, that one's probably a little healthier, and you don't
Yeah,
even realize it. Like the
right.
science that they use in their marketing is so next level that you don't realize it. Don't even say or it don't use any of the buzzwords, but it just has the right color and a certain picture and the simplicity of the text, and you're like, it's probably healthy.
Yeah, yeah. Now that is in the book. How they did a
That's
color
good.
study on, and that's why certain um, establishments, brick and mortar establishments, are certain colors inside or on the outside or whatever.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, it kind of ignites certain feelings and within a person. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's real. Color marketing is definitely a thing. Um, why a book? I mean, yeah, you kind of could have did a lot of things to get this message out to give people this information. What made you say out of all the mediums that I could possibly do to bring this information to the forefront, I'm gonna write a book?
Actually, my oldest sister, Iva, she's the one that did it because I'm always, talking about it, and and I always suggesting and eating right and whatever. And she's like, you have all this information. Why don't you write a book? And
Hmm.
so, and it was no hesitation. I was like, oh, okay. And and so I had during COVID, I had started doing these Facebook lives, and that's what the book is based on. My Facebook lives. I did four, I think 4 months, and so each month had a different focal point. So there was the first month, which was the first book, talking about what that gut was and the health, having a healthy gut, and then the next month I did it. Excuse me, I did it on like Sundays, so once a week. So for 4 weeks. A month, I talked about a certain thing. So I talked about physical health and the importance, and then I talked about mental health, and so all of these things circle back around to a gut health because of the way our bodies are made up. So
That makes sense.
yeah.
And so what's next? What's next on the agenda? I know we talked about the upcoming books that we're gonna have, the emotional health, and what was the other one?
Emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual,
So I know that,
and the baby book.
and the baby book. Oh yes, we have
Yeah.
covered some ground
Yeah.
on what's
So
next.
long, I am planning to do a health retreat.
Mm,
And so I'm trying to figure out the ins and outs of that. I had asked a couple of people to be staff members for 2025. I wanted to do someone to be a counselor. I have this one friend; she's a counselor, so I asked her to come along as a counselor, and another friend for activities, and then another friend who is a chef. to just teach people how to cook. Because a lot of times people think, oh, healthy is just, oh, I get tired of eating salads all the time. But there is so many other ways to, cook with herbs and spices and to make things more palatable. And so just trying to, do cooking classes to teach people, not to just feed them, but just to teach them how to use herbs and spices and stuff on different dishes and, creating different dishes and stuff like that. So that's another small group. I really want to do something next year because it's just, I have this heart for the people who are suffering and for people who really want help. And so I want to do something small in, small groups, maybe just take them, for like a weekend or, and do what I said, for the health retreat, but just, compact it just to give people, group people together, encourage them, give them support, things like that.
Yeah.
I want to do this other thing called uh, Operation Cuddles. So as you know, your baby, I nicknamed her Cuddles because she was so fat and fluffy when she was a baby, and so
Yeah, yeah, she does.
She was my cuddle person,
Yeah.
and so that's just the name, but it's about therapy. It's about how you call it mental therapy. They sometimes you have they have animal therapy where people they take animals like dogs or whatever to elderly whatever,
Yeah.
and it helps them. Well, this is going to be with stuffed animals.
Ah,
So like, and I didn't realize you think and the stuffed animals are for kids, but for anyone who is looking, just pick up a stuffed animal and hug it.
hmm.
And I stumbled up on it by accident, and I was just surprised how like really comforting. I was like, I see why kids want their animals because it's really comforting. So I want to really
Sure.
have a program where I can distribute that to like nursing homes or for the elderly, for them to really, especially a lot of people are like alone, they don't have people who visit them a lot or whatever, so just to have something with them that they can
That's
hold.
really good.
Yeah.
I like that. Operation Cuddles. Hello.
Yes.
She's gonna love that too. All right. So I always do a top five, and I have a perfect top five for you. I wanted to do music, but I have a better one for you. However, I do have one music question. I want to know in high school. I need to know that artist for you. That one artist that you used to just when their songs came on, you jamming in the car, you putting the LP on, you whatever you did. Love this artist. Who was it?
Well, first of all, we couldn't do all that.
Nope.
Right. And back then there was groups, it was just
Mm,
like the Emotions.
mm,
Um, and who else? I was growing up the Jackson Five, of course.
of course.
Um,
But you
yeah.
didn't have one. You didn't have like if you get your turn to pick the song, or you get your turn to say what we listen to, you didn't have like, ooh, Lionel Richie. You didn't have like,
No, I mean, I used to like Barry White.
okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Something wrong with me. Okay, there you go. All right, your top five. I want to know top five superfoods and why.
Okay. I like kale. So, and can I do drinks too?
You can.
Kale, green tea, blueberries, blackberries, and uh, broccoli.
Wow. So blackberries went over like spinach.
Yeah.
That's big. I mean, I knew blackberries were healthy. I just didn't know they would. I didn't know that they would beat out some leafy greens. That was really good to me. So kale number one,
Yeah.
green tea,
Yeah, because those are my top two because they're the most powerful. Like we have these built-in defense systems, and so I was reading this book to where it's like there's five major defense systems, and um, green tea. I can't remember where kale hits, but kale is always like this powerhouse that's really good for, to have on a regular basis. But green tea hits all five, supports all of those defense systems to help you stay healthy. So I try to do green tea at least like once, twice a day.
Wow.
Uh, yeah.
And I heard a
And then
doctor.
the blueberries is the same thing. Blueberries and green tea are like, and kale, those are like the top three powerhouses.
Wow. I heard a doctor saying that I think they were talking about spinach at the time, but they were saying that it's different vegetables do the same thing. That like there are nutrients that are released from vegetables cooked that you wouldn't get eating them raw, and then there's nutrients that you get raw that you wouldn't get if you cook them.
Yeah.
You,
Well,
you, that's pretty
I
much true.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
All right, so kale, green tea, blueberries, blackberries,
Yes.
broccoli.
Yes.
Wow, I think a lot of kids would like that. Like I could tell my mom that I know you want me to eat this broccoli. I get it, but I'd rather have a bowl of blueberries and blackberries, and it's kind of better. So, as long as we keep the blueberries and blackberries stocked, I don't really have to touch the broccoli anymore. Well, mom,
Good to have variety.
you have been an amazing guest. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being
You're an amazing host. I'm really proud of you from pushing through and doing what you like to do, and I just see great things for you. So I am just super proud to be California mom.
Thank you so much, Mom. I get it from the best. I get it from the best. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Thank you so much. And as you already know, I don't have to tell you, pod is good
All the time.
and all the time.
God is good.
I love you, Mom. I'll talk to you soon.
Love you. All right. Take care.
All right, you guys, there it is. Episode 33, my most special episode thus far. My mom. Mama California. Join the show. Hopefully, you get to see the amazingness that I see all the time. I've seen my entire life through my mom. She is an incredible woman, and she's been like that for a long time now. I know. I didn't know she was this incredible way before I was even around. So, but it makes sense. It makes sense. And it all started with my grandmother saying, "No, you need that. You need your grandmother sometime to jump in there and say, no." Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Once again, I am Cashmere, California. This is the Pod is Good podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please follow us, like us, share us, whatever you got to do to make sure that when we jump on, you with us. We'll bring you more conversations, more inspiration, and hopefully more laughs as well. So, with that being said, Pod is good and all the time. I'll see y'all later.